Hey loves, Kim here and I'm back with another video. So today I am introducing a new build series called Building Newcrest, Newcrest U. And by Newcrest U, you guessed it, I am building a college town. So how we got to this point was that I took to my Instagram page. If you haven't followed me already on Instagram, my handle is Simply-Nisey, and I went on like the live poll and I asked, what should I build next in Newcrest? Is it going to be a family friendly town or a college town? And about 70% of people who answered said the college town. So here we are. I'm so excited to be building like a college town. And although we don't have like a university expansion or game pack, I feel like if we really use our imagination, this concept can work very, very well, and I'll talk about that a little bit later on. But anyway, let's get into this build. I am starting off with the university's cafeteria, and I wanted to start off with the cafeteria because I felt like that's a perfect place to start as far as like a social hub where everyone is going to go at some point. Everyone needs to eat. College kids don't necessarily have the money all the time to go to fancy restaurants or, don't have the time to cook. So I wanted to build a cafeteria that had food that was relatively cheap and easy to get, because usually college kids are constantly on the go with all of their exams or even just their social life. They don't really have a lot of time to just sit in one place on a regular basis. So I thought that the cafeteria would be a perfect spot for your Sims to get something while they're on the go, or to just socialize with their group, their clique, their club, whatever. So yeah, I really enjoy how this came out. I wanted the style of this building to be pretty modern. I love the windows and the doors. Both of them came with the Spade pack. And I just like them because I feel like they let in so much light and they make the place feel a lot more grand and a lot more open without making this really huge lot. This lot size is only 30 by 30, and I just wanted to use this space as thoughtfully as possible. I didn't want to completely clutter this lot, but I wanted to make sure that there was plenty of spaces for your Sims to sit, a variety of foods for your Sims to eat, and just some places here and there for your Sims to socialize comfortably, whether it's with a group of people or just one other Sim. I think this place works very, very well. So yeah, initially I chose this lot to be a restaurant because I thought maybe your Sims want hot food, because it's just like a comfort thing. But thinking back to my college days, you really don't get too much comfort food at college, if that makes sense. That's typically the thing that most college students look forward to when they go home, especially on holidays like Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, and things like that. Holidays where they're with their family for extended periods of time. That's when they get like the good comfort food, like the hot foods, like the mac and cheeses and the fried chicken and things like that. So I decided in the end to make this into a cafe. I felt like that was more appropriate because college students, especially during exam time, tend to drink a lot of coffee or a lot of other caffeine and junk food just to kind of keep them going, keep them quote unquote energized, and just to help them get through whatever exam they're doing. So yeah, here I am. I'm just choosing tables and chairs. I wanted there to be a mix of like high top tables, or what you might call like a pub table or like a bar table, something that's a little bit higher, and regular tables. And the color scheme that I go with during this build is blue and yellow. I just feel like those colors were very nice together. They conveyed a sense of regalness and royalty, but not too stushy, if that makes sense. I don't know, I felt like those two colors together are vibrant, but they do kind of convey a sense of royalty and regalness. I don't know, maybe that's just in my mind, but yeah, I chose blue and yellow as my main color scheme, and now I'm just trying to figure out pretty much the layout of this whole place. Like I said, I start off as a restaurant, so we do, as of right now, have like those fully disclosed stoves. I think that's what they're called, but I do get rid of them and end up using some of the food stalls from the City Living pack. So yeah, how are you guys doing today? I'm feeling alright. It's pretty early, but I'm glad to just get this content out to you all, and I hope you all enjoy. By the way, if you haven't done so already, follow me on my Instagram page, which is Simply-Nisey. I do polls over there sometimes, and that's how you guys can know when I'm posting a new video, because I usually do like some sort of post directing you to a link. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and make sure you turn on the bell to get notifications. That way you are first to watch new content from me. So yeah, I would say the main packs to have is City Living and Get Together. The reason being is I feel like City Living with the food stalls is absolutely key, unless you're okay with doing a restaurant, or unless you're okay with maybe something like Get to Work, where you just have a bunch of vending machines and you have them constantly cooking for people. That can be a bit, I won't say excessive, but that could become a lot, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe that's just me. But I feel like City Living is key for the convenience of the food stalls. Also, Get Together would be really great for gameplay, because it allows you to have groups or cliques and things like that. So if you wanted, like, say for instance, like a geek club, or like a popular people's club, or even just fraternities and sororities, or things like, you know, like artsy people or jocks, like Get Together is a great tool for gameplay if you're playing from a college student's perspective. So yeah, here we are just adding some chairs to these tables outside. I really love the vibrancy of the blue against the yellow. Blue's complement or opposite color is actually orange, and yellow's opposite color is purple. However, I felt like blue and yellow worked well because their opposite colors is close to the colors that I paired them with, if that makes sense. If you really look at it, purple isn't that far away from blue. Yellow isn't that far away from orange as far as like their place in the color wheel. So they still work. I don't know. Thumbs up if you agree. But in my personal and professional opinion, because I did go to school for graphic design and we had to take a couple of courses in color theory and things like that, I think it works very, very well. So yeah, here we are adding in these food stalls from City Living, and I was trying to figure out how can I open up this space without making it too open, you know, so people won't just go behind the stalls. And the way I kind of pull it all together is that I use these chalkboards that came with the Get Together pack. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I did use that pack. I started off trying to use the sign holders from Dine Out, if I'm not mistaken, but I ended up using the chalkboard from Get Together because it covered more of the food stall signage. I wanted each space to be as uniform as possible, but still giving them their little individuality. And I do that by using different swatches of the chalkboard. You'll see in a little bit what I do. But yeah, I didn't want the sign from the food stall showing because I just thought it was tacky. Pretty much. That's the reason. I just thought it was really tacky. Here I am. I'm in the middle of the first level. I was trying to create some sort of seating situation, and now I'm over here with the barista space. I started off with one space and I was going to keep it this one little spot in the corner. However, when I played tested the first time, oh my gosh, it was so many people that actually showed up to this lot and only one barista could serve them. It was a mess. So I knew that I definitely needed to area so your Sims can get their coffee really quickly and not be in a super long line, and your barista won't be all frustrated and flustered. Now I'm just switching out the chairs from the city living I guess metal chairs that were upstairs, and I'm switching them with the base game plastic chairs. I felt like they'd match better with those chairs on the high top area, which came from the cool kitchen stuff pack. And I wanted that kind of vibrancy of the blue and yellow a little bit more dulled down while you're inside. So yeah, some other things that I added that we might not have noticed is that I put in a couple vending machines. I feel like maybe your Sims can't always afford a coffee, so they might opt for a soda, or your Sims might not always have the time to wait in line at the food stall. So there's like some really quick food options for your Sims to get. So yeah, just a little fun fact that came with the Get to Work pack. I don't feel like it's absolutely necessary, but if you do have the Get to Work pack, all the better, because you just have more features of this lot. So yeah, what am I doing now? I was going to do like some sort of trophy display case, but I decided against it. I felt like maybe we could save that for like our athletic building that we're going to get to a little bit later on. Hashtag spoiler alert. But yeah, I'm going to fill this town completely with buildings that you would see in a college town, and I just hope you all enjoy. Don't forget to leave me a lovely comment below if you have any suggestions. I pretty much have this world mapped out as far as what I'm going to put where, but your suggestions are always welcome, and I look forward to reading any lovely comments from you all. So yeah, on the exterior, here I am just making the building, I guess, more aesthetically pleasing, or interesting at least. I love this stone that I put on like the protruding parts. That stone texture, I believe, came with base game. And that kind of dark grayish, yeah, kind of grayish wood, we do get rid of that and change it with blue towards the end. And here I am just adding in a couple I guess flooring tiles, just so I could have that, I guess, trim, I guess you would call it, wall trim. Yeah, I can have that a little bit more consistent going across all of the pieces across the building's facade. Also, what I'm working on now is a little bus stop. I plan on doing this not on every lot, but maybe every other lot or every few lots, and just create a little bus lot. A bus stop. I felt like this was really cute for storytelling, and I noticed that in Newcrest sometimes there is a trolley that comes by, so this would be cute for storytelling. And of course, we can't actually get on the trolley, but when your Sims make that phone call and leave the lot, we never quite know how they get away, so maybe they can do that at the bus stop. And I just thought it was just something cute to really convey that this is a nice community lot that your Sims can get to and from, either through public transportation or just by walking. So yeah, I always love to use these little bathroom decals that came with base game. It just really screams community lot, and I just like the way they look. I just really do. I don't know, is that weird? I just really like using them for some reason. Here I am switching the floors to that kind of grayish bluish tone that came with City Living, if I'm not mistaken, and I changed the stairs to a similar color just so everything looks a little bit more cohesive. And you might have saw me finishing off that seating area. I do change it. I just felt like the space could have been used a little bit better, so I do change it in just a little while here. I love that clock that came with the bowling pack. I just like the styling of it. That pack in general has more of like a mid-century flair, so basically like the 50s and the 60s, and I just really like it. It just has its own little quirkiness, so I definitely wanted to use that clock. And that founder statue, I just felt like it was ideal. I don't know who that Sim is, but I felt like it was appropriate to have the founder statue at a place where all of the university Sims are going to go and visit at some point. So yeah, now I am just working on a little bit of the landscape. Nothing too fancy smancy, just a bunch of the green hedges, a couple of lavender plants, and some hydrangeas just to make the place feel a little bit more alive. And I like that cherry blossom that we put in the back because Newcrest has a lot of cherry blossoms, so I just wanted to use a tree that was indigenous to this world. Now I'm putting in some of those public wall speakers, and I think the station that I chose is Pop, and it comes with base game, so regardless of what pack you actually have, you'll be able to listen to the music right away. So yeah, now I'm just upstairs kind of rearranging our seating, adding more seating. If you notice, I added in another round table, and that table came with the laundry day stuff pack. I love the 6-person table. I feel like having a 4-person table, it kind of limits your circle a little bit. I'm not saying that you can only have yourself and 5 friends. Of course you can have more than 5 friends, but it just opens up the space a little bit. So you can socialize just a bit more, you know. I'm in the bathroom now, changing the tiles. Those doors actually came with base game. The exterior doors to the bathroom came with Spa Day, and that tile came with Parenthood. And the floor in there, if I'm not mistaken, also came with Spa Day, as well as the toilets. And the mirrors and the sinks in the bathroom came with Get to Work, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, at this point I've play tested it and saw that the one barista area was just way too much, so I decided to add in a second, but the space was getting tighter and tighter, so I had to decide, how am I going to rework this room so we can maximize our caffeine intake, because college kids need coffee. Well, they don't need it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. College kids want coffee, so the more spaces that we can get in here, the better. And of course, they can get other things like pastries and cupcakes. Well, maybe not cupcakes, but muffins and cannolis and scones and things like that. So yeah, I just wanted to have as many functioning pieces as possible. And that big booth only sat 4 people. So I don't know, I just chose more people getting coffee over 4 people being able to sit down. And in turn, we were able to get a few more seats in here. So it all worked out. It all worked out in my opinion. So yeah, here I am just kind of rearranging the layout. I do add a second set of stairs so your Sims can access the upper area, because the first set of stairs, I did reduce it to only 1 tile wide. So I wanted to make sure more Sims can get up the stairs. Here I am just expanding that kind of squared off area in the middle, just so both of those, what do you call them, barista stations? Yes, both of those barista stations can fit in comfortably, and the people working it can move around with 2 of them in there at the same time. So yeah, I just really enjoyed this. I don't know, I feel like my builds usually don't come out this quickly, and by this quickly I mean just the ideas were just rolling. I didn't feel like I was stuck a lot. I felt like this was a really good build for me and a good way to start off this build series. Fun fact, this cafeteria was not the first build that I wanted to do in the Building Newcrest series. I actually started off building a grocery store, and I will still do it. I'm just kind of going back in my mind if I wanted to keep what I made or if I wanted to start completely over, because although I love what I did, I felt like it was just getting too much. Like I don't know. I felt like I got to a place where it was satisfactory, and then I just kept going and going, and it was just too much. So I had to take a break. I had to take a break from the grocery store. So I will still do it. I'm not sure when. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep what I have and really polish it off, or if I'm just going to start completely over. But yeah, just a little fun fact. But I don't know. But I'm upstairs now. If you notice, I have a couple of microwaves, and I feel like that was also realistic to have in like a college campus cafeteria, because you might have food from home that you want to heat up, Or you might not want to wait in line for a food stall, but you also don't want vending machine food, so you can have quick things like chicken nuggets and burritos and oatmeal. So that's there for your Sims convenience. This is the chalkboard that I was talking about that came with Get Together, if I'm not mistaken. Just changing up the swatches here and there just to make each stall a little bit more individualized, but also covering up the original signage. Another reason why I wanted to do that is because a lot of times you might not have like a brand name place sponsoring the food, if that makes sense. Like all college campuses might not have like a McDonald's or Wendy's or a Moe's inside of their cafeteria. Like they might have like standalone franchises for that. So I felt like covering it up with like a default menu made it feel a bit more, I don't want to say generic, but it made it feel a bit more like the school itself was preparing these things and not some fancy smancy sponsored restaurant, if that makes sense. I don't know, I just like that idea better. And really, I just felt like those signs were so tacky on the inside. That's just what it simply came down to. But yeah, here I am. What am I doing? Here I am just doing a bit of outside decoration. I'm changing the wall coverings from that dark gray wood tone to more of a blue. This blue covering or wall covering actually came from Jungle Adventure, but I do believe Base Game has something very similar if you all don't have that pack. And I just wanted to go with the blue because I felt like that was very on theme with the school spirit. And I don't know, I just like the way it looked better. I just felt like it made the place shine just a bit more. Here I am just changing the window swatches from that gray tone to more of a beige tone, just so it matches that door a bit better. And what frustrates me sometimes is that although these windows and that door are from the same pack and obviously they're supposed to go together, they don't have the same default swatch, if that makes sense. Like I think the windows default swatch is like a gray tone and the doors is like default like a beigey tone. So I wish by default they would be similar in color, but The Sims just doesn't work that way. Anyway, now I'm just outside just adding in a couple more trees, and I love these hanging banners that came with Get Together, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like it's really just ties everything together, polishes the school colors off very well, and just makes us feel more of like a collegiate community space. So yeah, we're going to be wrapping up this video in just a few. I just want to say thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And follow me on my social medias. My Instagram handle is Simply-Nisey. I'm also on Twitter at Simply-NiseyYT. Thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye guys.